10 or 11 minutes that he's shown up on that platform, stumbling a little bit, drinking from a bottle, leaning over the edge.
Only on 7 tonight, new video showing how a tragedy on the People Mover tracks might have been prevented.
Still hard to watch. It's been almost 3 months since that man was dragged to his death after stumbling on the tracks at the Times Square station.
7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette has been investigating this from the very start. Joins us live tonight with new information on what went wrong. Simon?
Steve and Carolyn, tonight we're riding the People Mover to show you a number of safety upgrades recently implemented here after a man's gruesome death, now under investigation. For the family of 53-year-old Michael White of Detroit, his death on the tracks of the People Mover was simply devastating. His son sharing his heartbreak.
Basically just kind of froze. His body was dragged 50 feet. There should have been someone there to see him out there, you know, and to possibly save his life. And my dad should still be here right now.
Last May, after the tragic accident, Only Action News exposed an alarming fact. Inside the People Mover headquarters, we discovered just one person tasked with monitoring more than 60 security cameras. After White's fall off the platform onto the track between two stopped rail cars, there was no response. The car started moving seconds later, dragging him to his death.
The people who run the People Mover were very negligent. It's our understanding that the woman who was watching it on that day had the kill switch at her fingertips and she did nothing. So either she wasn't there, she was not paying attention, she was distracted. So the guy's walking over here.
Attorney Mike Morse, representing the victim's family, says we now know White was on camera stumbling on the People Mover platform for more than 10 minutes. Yet no one checked on him, despite troubling signs of danger.
The 10 or 11 minutes that he's shown up on that platform, stumbling a little bit, drinking from a bottle, leaning over the edge, I think someone should have sent a police officer, sent their own private security force, gone over the loudspeaker and said, hey sir, back up, this is dangerous. There was several things they could have done that they didn't do.
But that's not all. Morse says the People Mover failed to meet basic federal safety standards that were in place for decades. More on those in a moment. For a closer look at all this, last week we rode the People Mover again after we were told it was shut down for routine maintenance. We found these brand new barriers and chains installed to keep someone from falling in between the stopped cars. During our trip, we even spotted an installer upgrading a security camera in the very same spot where White was killed. We asked him about the camera's capability.
I can look at 4 separate views instead of using 4 separate cameras. I got one camera, it's digital. I have better video quality.
As someone that works with these cameras, would you say that something like this could save a life?
Yes, oh, well, yes.
It all begs the question, why wasn't any of this done earlier? Morse, who's now filing a civil lawsuit on the family's behalf, had this reaction to what we saw.
The People Mover Corporation has put some inexpensive chains between the cars. Like, why didn't they do that sooner? We are asking for over $25,000, but in reality, we'll be asking for millions of dollars for this man's life.
Morse also mentions people from the city and suburbs often drink before riding the People Mover, particularly before and after Tigers games, Lions football, Red Wings hockey, or any other event, therefore reinforcing the need for the highest safety standards.
It's no different than a bus or a taxi or even an Uber, which isn't public, but we take these things on purpose to protect us so we don't have to get behind the wheel.
Now, the People Mover folks denied our request for an on-camera interview. However, in a statement, they point out this is the first and only death they have had in 29 years. They also say they've hired an outside consulting firm to review their safety procedures. From downtown, reporting live, Simon Shaquette on the People Mover, 7 Action News. Back to you.
All right, Simon, thank you for that live report. It seemed like they took some simple steps to create a big problem.
At least it's a lot safer, or at least it appears. Thank you. Well, another round